Okay, so I'm in between projects right now, and I've been wanting to get in part 2 of the toolbox store. Part 1 was the Husky 52-inch toolbox, so I figured now's as good a time as any to go over my US General Series 2 for part 2 of the toolbox store. If you didn't catch part 1, I will put a link right here. And in that one, I explain why my Husky toolbox looks the way it does. The movers, they shipped it, they messed it up. They paid me full price for it, so I bought the US General Series 2 56-inch top and bottom. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. We'll go over it, so let's get into it. Okay, like I said, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. As we'll go through this, I'll explain to you some of the stuff that I like and don't like. If you remember correctly, with this toolbox, I named Stitches because when I moved into this place, that's the way it was delivered to me, in stitches. With the Series 2, I named that one Willie because goodness is it tall. I am 5'9", and I don't really put stuff up here because I can't really see all the way back. I don't know. But we'll go through the top. So in total, this thing is 64 inches tall. And this is how I have to get up there, because I got to thinking that there's no telling what I could find if I actually move stuff around. But up here is the top. There is a lot of storage area up here. I got my recording equipment, boxes, yeah, see, stuff like that. Type of screws. Oh, that's for the side cabinet. Is there anything back there? No. Then got foam for one of the projects that I built. Up here, if I can get down. Up here I've got my Craftsman under hood light. And then I've got all my clamps up there. I normally just leave this open. If we ever go away on vacation or something, then I normally just take those clamps, set them inside there. That's why I leave at least some portion of that open. And then I just store that in my cabinet so that way I can close it and lock it. So let me get you guys set up on the tripod, and then we'll take a look at the top box. Okay, so I tried to do the tripod, but I think this is going to work out a little bit better. And all my drawers I have labeled, you see there. I would highly suggest labeling everything because I do like to swap around my drawers. So we'll start off at the top. If you don't have a Series 2, this is one of the most annoying things if you decide to go with Series 2, is that the lock is on the right side. Here's my SAE wrenches. We got 1/4 inch all the way up to 1 inch. Mostly Husky. I got my stubby wrenches up to a 3/4. And then just a few more combination wrenches. You know, of course, little mini combination wrenches. I don't have too much Imperial. Okay, next drawer is SAE boxed in. So these are going to be all the double boxes. These are all my offsets. And I got S wrenches. And then these double box ratcheting. Next drawer we got metric wrenches. So over here, we got 5.5 all the way up to 23 in combination. And then I got my stubbies, 10 to 15. No skips. Then next over here, I've got the Tecton ratcheting wrenches. And this goes from an 8 to a 20. I love these Tecton ratcheting wrenches. These are awesome. They just came out with their new style that is 12 point. Might up picking up those. Then next, I've got the stubby gear wrench ratcheting wrenches. These are 12 points. Then back here, I've got the gear wrench flex head combination ratcheting wrenches. 8 to 10, skip the 11, and then goes all the way up to 15. And then I got the 16 and the 19 that's back there. Slowly but surely, I'll end up filling these because I'm weird like that and I don't like to skip sizes. Now these are the Pittsburgh long combination wrenches. And again, same thing. I bought with the Pittsburgh because I don't know if I'll end up using them. I haven't used them as much as I thought I would, you know, working on diesels. In the back, just got my little tiny sizes, ignition wrenches or, you know, micro wrenches. And then combination or line wrenches, crow's feet. And this little guy, I love this little guy. This is from Vim. Get the part number here. If you guys haven't seen this one, there's your part number. But it's just a micro ratcheting wrench. Pretty neat. Then I got this from K-Tool. This is a nice little wrench extender. Next is metric boxed in. Same thing here as for the standard boxed in. Like again, went with the Pittsburgh because I didn't know how often I would use them. For the S wrenches, I definitely do not use them, so I'm glad I went that route. I might actually get some offset boxed in wrenches because I do use these a little bit more than what I thought I did, or I thought I was going to. And then I definitely use these ratcheting double box. So I'm starting to pick up these Tecton ones that are flex head on each end. This is their 810. Nothing in that drawer. And then this one, I've got my all 16ths. Which 16th do you need? Any of them? Then you go for these. I got some Pittsburgh ones, some Chinesium ones, and then up here got some big channel lock tongue and grooves. I really like these. Then the old TrueCraft pipe wrench. Look at that. Made in Japan. It's actually a really good pipe wrench. I love that thing. And then in here, you know, like when you buy furniture and you get all these little things they give you to put together, you know, for those folks that don't have any tools. Well, I like to keep these. I have no idea why. Don't ask me. I got a problem. Then next up is the plier drawer. again with this guy. On these, some people, they put the nuts inside here to keep them open. Unfortunately, I can't because in my garage it's unlevel, so they just come open, so I have to deal with it. I got all different kinds of pliers. Got hose pliers, some hose pinch off pliers. These are Titans end nippers right here. And then these are for if you're installing like PEX clamps, the cinch clamps. These are for. I absolutely love these pliers. These are the Lyle disconnect pliers. And then got these. There we go. These little baby tongue and groove pliers. And then, of course, the Pneumatics Cobras. If you don't have a set of Cobras, you are missing out. These things are awesome. And then these are actually pretty sweet. These are the Klein Tools smooth jaw pliers. And this piece right here is reversible. If you guys want to see a video on that, I can do a video on it. Then I got the gear wrench bolt butter pliers. They call the Pitbull pliers. Yeah, I think it's Pitbull pliers. That whenever it put it down to wherever you need it, and then right here this auto bite function locks in, and then it just gives you that extra bite. And my DeWalt diagonal cutters, I love these things. It's probably my favorite diagonal cutters just because of the handle primarily. Not to say that the teeth aren't that bad, but the thick handle I really do enjoy. And then the engineer pliers, the lineman's pliers with the extra little bite on the end. You know, these screw extractions. These Klein pliers are way older than me, and I love these Klein lineman's pliers. These Pneumatics lineman's pliers, probably one of the best out there as well. And Pneumatics, these little crescent ones. Let's get over here so you can see this. By the way, if you haven't noticed, this is the new one. New plier rack that I got from Amazon. I done a video over it. I'll put a link right over here. But these pliers right here, they're all spring-loaded pliers. And they fit right inside that rack. And it holds the tension. You can see that bar right here holds the tension on it. So when you release it, then it springs out. But these are little bitty baby crescent needle nose pliers. And then my little snips for zip ties. Because you know we use zip ties around here if you've been part of the channel long enough. The SATA double what would you call it, double X? Yeah, the SATA double X pattern. These are great because if you compare the two, these are the Pittsburgh pliers that they sell. Again, I bought these, didn't know how often I would use them. They actually come in clutch, but the problem was with the handle. When you open the handle just a little bit, these don't really open a little that much, but with this double X pattern, when you open up the SATAs, they get a lot, their gap is a lot wider here than with these. These are definitely going to go into the junkyard box, and then I'll be replacing them because I want to get an offset or like a 90-45 degree with the double X pattern. Those are the Icon circle clip pliers. Pneumatics circle clip pliers. And then these are for if you're doing any type of transmission work or if you're doing transfer case work and you have those circle clips that don't have the end pieces to them, then use these. That's why they have like this little knurled function on the end. So then you can squeeze it and open up the circle clip. Whoa. Next drawer, full of Milwaukee. No, actually, this is my sticker drawer. I collect stickers. I will be putting them on a box, but I gotta love the box, whichever box I get. I'm gonna put all my stickers on the box. I got magazines and old knife. I think it's Cabela's. Yeah, I have knives everywhere. Next drawer is the impact socket drawer. For impact sockets, I don't really have any quarters, but for 3/8, for standard sizes, I've got 5/16 all the way to 1 inch. These are Tectons. These are actually really good sockets. I've debated on going with Tecton also for my impact sockets. And then that's just for the standard. For the deep well, I've got just a few 5/16, 3/4. For metric sockets, skipping a few, where I've got 8 to 19. Do you guys mind having open pegs or having any skips? Let me know, because it bugs me, to be honest with you. And then for 1/2 inch size, for 1/2 inch size, I've got in standard and deep, 3/8 all the way up to 1.25 inch in SAE. I know where that guy's at. It's not missing, or it would bother me, like this rail does. Because this one is my metric, and I got on standard 10 all the way up to 27, skipping these 3 obviously. And then for deep well, skipping a few there as well. Over here, when I used to use air all the time, I've got my earthquake 1/2 inch. It's actually not a bad air impact. The new Earthquake XT is amazing, but I mean, I got this one uh, 2009 time frame, 2010. This is one that I rebuilt. I don't even know anything about this Cowhawk. If you guys do, let me know. But it wasn't too difficult. It was mainly just the trigger. That was a problem. And then, oh, the old knuckle getter. If you have ever used one of these, this air ratchet, then you know what I'm talking about with the old bloody knuckles. I mean, you're going to lose at bloody knuckles playing with this thing. This Ingersoll Rand. I liked it, you know, until I bled for the job. Oh, goodness. Down here, I've got all my adapters, a few extensions. So, most of these are Pittsburgh, besides, obviously, these Tecton ones. But here's the thing with my Pittsburgh. This is what I love. Whenever I was doing a pinion, I had to change out the pinion seal on the truck. Of course, got a marker marked on here to mark how many rotations I was going all the way around, and I painted on it. I feel like if I would have paid a lot more for this socket, I wouldn't have wanted to paint it. So even if I do replace these sockets, I'll keep some of these around, because when I went to do U-joints, not even mad about it. These Pittsburgh sockets, people may say that they break, they rust. Yeah, if you use them like they're intended, but if you need to knock out a U-joint, you need to get yourself some Pittsburgh sockets. Then those are all just extras. Next drawer over is the Sparky stuff. Got my old voltmeter right here. Is that Commercial Electric? Home Depot, sure. And then soldering. I got a 7-pin going down to a 4-pin. Adapter. And then I had these Ideal wire strippers, and they just started to not strip for whatever reason. I don't know. So I went out and I got these Irwin ones, and if I had to judge between the two, I want those to work. I'm not a fan of these Irwin wire strippers. It just seems like this piece doesn't want to stay at times. And then whenever you go to strip the wire, it's like the blade isn't really that sharp. I don't get it. But I got the old school kind wire strippers. What we got here? Oh. Again, another Lyle disconnect, electrical disconnect. These things are amazing. I've done a video over these before. I'm sure there's multiple videos out there of those. Got some soldering butt connectors. These things change the game on connecting wire. If you're not using these, you probably should. You just put the wire in, and then you heat up the little solder piece right there. Heat it up with the heat gun. It's soldered, crimped, good to go. Bob's your uncle. And then this is a plain old tackle box. No, seriously, plain old tackle box. And all of these little connectors that I had out of 3 or 4 different kits, I consolidated them all into this kit, top and bottom. On the top, I've got soldering stuff, all my connectors, And then if I could do this one-handed. Well, that didn't sound good. Just ignore all that. Then I got my old school butt connectors. Yeah. Nothing's broke. For those of you that are not fans of using zip ties, I hope that you go to something like this, the Velcro. You know, some people don't like it because you cut the zip tie and you got to put another one on, even though they're being cheap because they're only like, what, half a penny a piece when you buy, 1,000 at a time. But these, they're reusable. They're nice to have. Let's see. Next up is torque wrenches. I got a Tecton. Yeah, there we go. Tecton 1/2-inch torque wrench. This thing is awesome. Then, of course, the Pittsburgh Quick-Type torque wrench. For the stuff I do, it works just fine. 1/4-inch torque wrench. I think this Tecton one goes. This is in foot-pounds. What did it go to? 25 to 250? 20 to 250? Sure. And then the Pittsburgh one. This one's a 3/8. And this one goes up to 150. And this is my inch-pound 1/4-inch torque wrench. And then this one. This is for if you need to check your prevailing torque for whenever I was doing my yoke. Or when I was removing the yoke to do the pinion seal. Then this could check for prevailing torque to let you know what you need to torque it back to. Next up, pneumatics. All my wind apparatuses. This Astro AI tire inflator, deflator. This thing is awesome. It's digital. This thing, I think it's a Pittsburgh. It's junk. Don't buy this. Get in. Get. There. Nothing in that drawer. Next up is air hammers. And in here, I have my Mac Tools air hammer. And then an Ingersoll Rand air hammer. And this little guy, this is a Salisbury air hammer. This is old. Like, we're talking, pre-war company that got into making rivets. They were doing rivets for the aircraft. And so this was a old riveter. It didn't work whenever I got it. So I did take this one completely apart, oiled everything, put it back together. The thing sounds like a little turbo. It's pretty neat. Let me know if you guys have ever seen something like that from Salisbury, California company. And then which one? Can't remember what this one was. I don't remember this one. Next up, nothing in that one. Thumb smashers. Inside here, got all my hammers, all them thumb smashers. We got Crescent, Pittsburgh. This one's a Tech. It's the. I think this one was the Tech. Yeah. Can you see it? Yeah. This was it was made by Apex or Gear Wrench, one of the two, that made Tech TEQ. This is my Almighty, my little brass hammer that I think it was handmade. I don't know. Forgot where I got this one from, but I like this little guy. And then a big Proto Dead Blow. Tiny Thor. Estwing. I love Estwing's handles. I love the feel of their handles. This is a 3-pound sledge. And then the Icon. Not sure if I'm a fan or not of the Icon 32-ounce dead blow. I need to use it more before I give an honest opinion. But I bought it at like $50, and right now it's not worth the money. That's my opinion right now. Next up is C-clamps. Got all different size Pittsburgh C-clamps. Next drawer, hardware and consumables. I got all kinds. This is where I just keep all my extras. You know, little things that you can buy from Northern Tool, Harbor Freight, cotter pins. Got O-rings. And then these little Home Depot HDX boxes full of all my extra screws and bolts. These are my just quick grab kits. Stuff from the camper. It's old PEX clamps. And then these lever nuts. I've gone to using lever nuts. I don't think I'll go back to using the actual butt connectors anymore. Then plastic fasteners for automotive. Got 2 of those. Nothing in that drawer. And then down here, I got all my pullers. And then my mechanical fingers. You know, to grab stuff that you dropped that you thought you'd never see again. Seal puller for your disc brakes. That's pushing the caliper back. 3-jaw pullers. Oh, chain breaker. I was looking for that actually the other day. Yeah, this is a chain breaker. If you need to fix your chain or make the chain longer or shorter. Pitman arm puller. And then this is my OEM seal driver set. Okay, just had to be smarter than the box. Difficult. Got it. But you got your different sizes here for your seals. Then you got your driver. Grab a thumb smasher. Break a thumbnail. Bob's your uncle. So that was the top and bottom. Now we can move over to the 14-inch 7-drawer side cabinet or side drawer thing. Yeah, you got it. First up is oil filter sockets. These are all of them that I bought in a kit. I really only use these two. One for Weezer, that's the Jeep. And then this one is for Rainbow on the Cummins. Awful loud. And then I also have the old school ones that just wrap around it. If you can get your tiny little paws up there. Some tire patch stuff, you know, for lawnmowers, automobiles, whatever. Some killing tools that I have to hide from the wife in case she gets mad at me for being out in the garage too long. Next up is punches and chisels. Another prime example. I do not care for these. Okay, these are the Pittsburgh punch. Pittsburgh, I don't know, 5-piece punch set. They're trash. Okay, so I bought them. Again, I was like, I don't know how often I would use punches. Well, turns out you use punches a lot. So I went out and I started replacing them with all of these Wildy, made in USA punches. I got this complete set. And then these big bad boys. Now the reason why I keep around these old Pittsburgh is because, like, when I was working on my trailer, I needed it to hold the trailer up because my trailer leans back. So I actually left this in the trailer. Forgot it, possibly, definitely. But I didn't care because it was the old Pittsburgh one. This is the Astro punch and chisel set. This set is amazing. Done a video on that one as well. And then I've got some old Dasco Pro chisels, made in America. Like these things too. These things are great. Got some razor blades, scrapers for whenever you're done with it all. And then the plastic ones if you want to just practice. These are actually great for removing stickers off vehicles. And then paint scrapers. With those you can use them to scrape off just about anything else. This is if you want to put a lot of pressure when you're trying to remove, you know, a sticker or something. Next up, I got the Derek Barry drawer. Vice grips. Now, here in the back, I have these here for a very specific reason. The way they're laid out. These, in the very back, are actual Peterson, made in DeWitt, Nebraska, vice grips. These are old school vice grips. If you see that there, these were actually welded to a drive shaft in an old shop. I just cut them off because looked off to the side walking along the shop and I said, wait, those are Petersons. Can I have those? Yeah, I don't care. You can get them off. Yeah. So these stick in the back right here. Next up is the Malco, made in USA, also DeWitt, Nebraska. Very shiny. I love these pliers. I actually don't like to use them. I love them so much. And then, of course, I've got the Irwin vice grip pliers. So if you don't know, these are just 3 generations of vice grips where Peterson sold to Irwin. Irwin moved manufacturing to over the pond somewhere, China, Taiwan, doesn't matter. The company came back when Malco came back, started making them in DeWitt, and then of course, as we all know, they also shut down. So I have them as basically my favorites in the back. Love those Petersons, Malco's being the next one, and these Irwins, they get the job done. Primarily I use these Bremens. I don't really have a complaint with the Bremens, honestly. They work just fine. Probably one of the most common used sets of vice grips that I have. And then for the needle vice grips, these are just Irwins. And then I got the welding pliers from Irwin. And then these Bremen C-clamp pliers. Next up is body panel tools. I got a full kit right here. This thing is, this thing is awesome. I don't have too many complaints. I've used almost every one of them. Like having that one. I got these, I think, from Northern Tool. These are pretty trash. Actually, I need to get rid of these because they're damaging plastic pieces I'm trying to pull off. Then I got the metal ones. If you really need to put a lot of oomph into it. I got these paddle clip pliers. These are Pittsburgh. I know Gear Wrench sells a set, but they look identical. I'm not going to pay extra money for something when they're probably made from the same plant. So that's why I got these. And they work just fine. And then for all the old school folks that, don't like all the automatics, all the digitals in their vehicles, that's what these are for. The old timies that like to reek with their windows. Next drawer down is Allen keys and hex tools. So I've got the Master Force ones, full Master Force set. Got the old Eklunds, made in USA. Hex keys. I like how long these are. Same thing here. Got them in, different sizes. And then I've got these shorter Eklund ones. These are standard. All these are standard. And then, of course, the Milwaukee's Hex key sets. Got them in SAE and metric. These things are really, really cool. I grab these, especially because of the identification that's on them. I've done a video on those. I'll put a link right there. And then still have my collection of hex keys. Same thing. You buy a piece of furniture, they give you one of these hex keys, L keys. Got tons of them. Again, remember, I have problems. I don't know why I keep them. Alright. Last but not least is the automotive drawer. In here, I've got my temperature gun, Klein temperature gun, my Die-Hard Strictly charger, battery post cleaner, and then this is a full carburetor cleaner. If you're working on carburetors, there's a full set of different sizes for all different type of carbs. And then up here, my cute little Cobalt Toolbox. I keep all my markers, Sharpies, paint markers, and then all my spare pencils and pens, pencil sharpener. And then if you ever get bored and you're in the shop and you want to color, I've got my colored pencils. I done a video not too long ago of the fan that I hung up right there. And the real reason why I have these markers is so whenever I'm drawing wiring diagrams, I can identify, which wire goes where. because not every time can you get on, you know, Dr. Google and get the wiring diagram. Then these are for when you're doing brakes, to hold brake calipers up. These are Arcans. Not too expensive. They make flexible ones for whatever reason, but I would not go with the flexible route. I would go with these more rigid route. And that's the toolbox. So that's going to do it for this video. If you guys want to see a comparison video between the US General Series 2 56-inch toolbox to the 52-inch Husky, let me know. I got a third toolbox if you guys want to see that one. That's mainly my construction / woodworking stuff. Also, let me know down in the comments. But I got to clean up the garage and get ready for the next project that I got. I bought a GMC Sierra truck that I'm doing some upgrades to. If you guys want to check that out, make sure you subscribe and click that bell so you get notified whenever the video drops. And I'm going to do an update video to the Astro light and the Icon light. It's been long enough now that I can give my honest opinion over which one that I do prefer. Bye for now.